It's the 420 radio show, and it's your host, Art the Ghost, blowing smoke. You already know, but check me out every Wednesday, you know? It's the ARTIKLEDAGHOST. It's the ARTIKLE. Doing the most, the radio show. It's the ARTIKLEDAGHOST. It's the ARTIKLE. Doing the most, the radio show. I talk that bud, I show that love, you know what's up. I give it up, I blow that smoke, it ain't no joke. Article the Ghost. 420, blow that smoke, man, I do this every day. Stuff them cones, light it up, and then I blow that hay. You want that truth, I spit them facts. This is more than just rap. It get quiet in here, but I got that loud pack. This is one hot song, tell a DJ bring it back. Man, I'm trying to tell ya I'ma roll a sack like that. Tune in every Wednesday for the inspiration, information, like, comment, and subscriptions. Algorithms, I'ma participate, but I'ma be in the clouds until a later day. Let's go. The ARTIKLEDAGHOST. It's the ARTIKLE. Goes doing the most, the radio show host. It's the 420 radio show, and it's your host, Art the Ghost, doing the most. And you know we done reached this news segment, brought to you by StillBeatingFactory.com, where we got that hotness playing in the background, and Marijuana Moment for providing us the newsletter that we're about to read from. And today's headline reads, Cannabis Pardon App launches. Hawaii Marijuana and Psychedelics Bill to floor votes. Maryland Cannabis Regulation Bill advances. Wyoming ballot measures fail. Kansas City hearing LA hemp restrictions. Let's get into this, and here are some top things to know. The Department of Justice formally launched the application for people to obtain certificates demonstrating they were granted relief under President Joe Biden's mass marijuana pardon. Hawaii Senate committees approved bills to legalize marijuana and create a therapeutic psilocybin working group, sending them to the Senate floor where votes are expected as soon as this week. The Maryland House Economic Matters Committee amended and approved a bill to create a regulatory framework for marijuana sales following voters' approval of a legalization ballot referendum. Wyoming activists announced that they failed to collect enough valid signatures to qualify separate marijuana decriminalization and medical cannabis legalization initiatives for the 2024 ballot, but they intend to try again. The Kansas Senate Federal and State Affairs Committee held a second day of hearings on medical cannabis stacked with only opponents of reform. Meanwhile, the House of Corrections and Juvenile Justice Committee held a separate meeting on marijuana decriminalization. Louisiana lawmakers and regulators discussed a proposed emergency rule that could pull hundreds of hemp-derived products off of store shelves. Virginia lawmakers are simultaneously moving to cut the Cannabis Control Authority's budget and asking the agency to take on more work. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the District of Massachusetts ruled that cannabis business employees are not protected by federal bankruptcy laws. Senator James Lankford co-authored an op with the head of prohibitionist organization Smart Approaches to Marijuana, criticizing the potential expansion of the cannabis industry ahead of the vote on a legalization initiative on Oklahoma's ballot on Tuesday. A witness at a House Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime and Federal Government Surveillance hearing spoke about how classifying drugs such as marijuana and psychedelics as Schedule I substances has impeded research. Separately, a former Drug Enforcement Administration official claimed at the meeting that people have died from fentanyl-laced marijuana. Okay, now we moving on to states. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy reappointed a member of the Marijuana Control Board. New York Governor Kathy Hochul's budget includes $18.8 million to support the creation of a cannabis licensing system. A former Oklahoma commissioner of mental health and substance abuse services authored an oath urging voters to reject the marijuana legalization initiatives on the state's ballot on Tuesday. Separately, the House Minority Caucus vice chair spoke about how follow-up legislation will be needed if voters approve the measure. The Washington State Senate approved a bill to classify drug possession as a gross misdemeanor. Separately, the House of Representatives passed legislation to provide additional protections for the medical cannabis patients. The Utah Senate passed a bill to create an income tax credit for business expenses of medical cannabis operators. The Georgia House Judiciary Non-Civil Committee approved a bill to allow the insurance of additional medical cannabis business licenses. Kansas House Democrats promoted an opt from a former U.S. attorney for the state who is calling on lawmakers to legalize medical cannabis. A Florida senator filed a marijuana legalization bill. Missouri lawmakers are considering several marijuana policy reform bills this season. A Virginia senator tweeted that Governor Glenn Youngkin and House Republicans' failure to work with us towards a legal cannabis market leaves money on the table, or perhaps more accurately in the pockets of shady drug dealers. Arkansas regulators dropped a discussion on potential changes to rules prohibiting pre-rolled medical cannabis joints and restrictions on advertising after the Attorney General's office said that it does not believe they have the authority to consider the issue. Michigan regulators are no longer allowing marijuana businesses on tax payment plans to get their licenses renewed. The North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services are encouraging farmers to complete a federal hemp survey. Virginia marijuana regulators will host a town hall meeting on Wednesday. Arizona regulators will hold a drawing to award nonprofit medical cannabis dispensary licenses on Friday.
And that was your news segment for the 420 radio show, brought to you by Marijuana Moment and Steel Beating Productions LLC. I'm going to drop both of these links down in the description so you can go check the website out, and you can also check out the article that I had just read so you can catch up on the rest of the article that I did not read. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, let's get back into this music piece. If you like content like this, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted when I drop new episodes. You know what I'm talking about? But you know how we do. We're going to get back into this smoking session. You feel me? 420. We out. Peace. Tiny piece of stuff you cone, light it up, now you're high up in the zone. 2 puffs to the dome. Yeah, you was all alone and you seen the future, now you really know what's going on. Take 2 puffs there, but don't wanna pass it on. Take 2 more puffs, oh my God, man, word is born. You heard me, I'm trying to get high as I can be. I got 1 foot in heaven and the other in the street. But I had a lot of help. Now I'm Art the Ghost, moving through the world in stealth, dropping bars while I'm blazing. First name is Adrian, spitting flames like Asian. Any time of the day I'll make your acquaintance, cause I'm high and I'm faded. Looking back at life, I'm so glad that I made it. But you gotta know that I'm here for a reason. I'm trying to get high cause it's